game, like all phases of the game, proud of the way we played. Whitaker goes out there and navigates the first inning. The double play in the first, no doubt helped. The other two double plays were well turned, well done. When you can execute like that and keep the ball on the ground with moderate to weak contact, you got a chance to be pretty clean. We handled the defensive things, and it just seemed like that's a talented team. Like, they're older. There's a lot of seniors in the lineup. We've seen them, but Whitaker navigated it. He did exactly what Whitaker does, keeps the ball on the ground. And early in the game, I think it was up. I haven't. You guys probably saw it better than I did. It just looked like he kind of got better as he went, and I thought the sixth inning was actually the sharpest he was. Proud of him. Like, he works hard, and it just landed on he was throwing on these Tuesdays. But these are important. Those are good Tuesday teams and wins. I thought Ben Barrett, the confidence and the intensity with the outing, I thought it was probably the best I've seen him. Like, the velocity, I think he might have touched a 4. And the velocity does matter, especially when he keeps it down with the movement he has. His slider was effective. It was a little inconsistent, but the shape of it looked right, and the ones that he could get to the correct area were really good. He yanked a couple of them, but all in all, very proud of the pitching and the defense. Up and down the lineup, you could probably pick out at-bats that every guy in the lineup had that were quality at-bats. I know we didn't bang it all over the place, but the timeliness of it and the efficiency of the scoring was good. There were good at-bats, good base running. Tibbs, just advanced. Like, I've had some great hitters in my time. He's as advanced as anyone with thinking the game, and he stands right there beside me throughout. And when he's not on base or batting, he seems to park it right there. And it's just thinking the game at a very high level and executing it. You have to have both of those, and you have to have the talent to do what you see him do. So he's putting all of those together. The play off the wall, for him to not probably overdo it and try to jump or dive and make a catch, to play it off the wall and throw the runner out at second like he did. Nice long hop. Just, you see his gamesmanship coming to life here. Cam's plays, the charge plays, the ball to second. Fisher at the end, Lodis the play. Farose, I think he's settling in and understanding second base a little bit better. I like the way we played. Jackson West, the energy behind the plate, to blow it open, the at-bat in the first inning. I'm proud. I told the guys I'm very proud that you executed essentially every aspect of the game properly tonight. The base running opportunities, we took advantage when we felt like we had it. I know Dingus probably swung at a pitch. He should have. Farrow had third base stolen. He probably, you just take that pitch, you're going to hit with the infield in. But just solid, proud of them. The guys showed up and they executed.
We know that the power that Tibbs has from the production the last few years, but I don't think he's caved yet this year in 34 at-bats. Just how have you seen him become a complete hitter with his pitch decisions at the plate the last 2 years?
Well, he works at this hard. These guys work at this relentlessly in the cages, on the field, on the bases. It starts with that. Going to play summer ball. So when you play the year he played, essentially every game, have the kind of year you had, and then you go off to the Cape and swing the wood bat all summer and play another 40, 45 games, come back and deal with the whole fall and jump right back into it. Then you see the weight room and the physicality of how Jamie Burleson develops these guys in here, combine that with the work and the repetitions and the gifts he has of the nuances of the game. Like, you're seeing a star player just continue to improve his skills in all phases. It's impressive, and he works hard at it.
Connor Whitaker, no walks tonight. How important was his efficiency and his strike throwing on the mound?
Huge. And when you have a good 3-pitch mix, like, he can pound that zone and fill it up, and you could see him. He's keeping people off balance, and that's what he does. He got some punch outs up in the zone. There's enough life on the fastball. I think the slider it's just a constant mixture of stuff. He did a great job. Like, the runners on second were close to being on it with the vaulting that they were doing. And he just had a great sense of when that guy settled his feet or maybe bounced back a tick, he delivered the ball. Game control is probably the hardest aspect of this for some of the younger guys to manage, and he has game control. And I think the defense likes it behind him. He's ahead in the count. The ball's in play. So he's a fun guy to play behind. And it was a steady, constant mix in the zone, and when he had a chance to expand, he did it. So he got some punch outs, and probably a lot of the punch outs, there were a good few out of the zone. So you have to be able to put people away, and a lot of times that's not in the strike zone. You have to get out of there.
You talked the other day about Cam using all fields and how it opens everything up for him. Just how big was the Cape for him, and then the adjustments he made up there too this summer?
The wood bat and just playing and repetition and learning and having great games and having crappy games and having to come back and answer. This sport, you don't come up for air in this sport, and the longer you play it, like when these guys become professional players, you don't get a day to breathe often at all. We played 40 nights in a row one time in our AA season in the Eastern League. So you have to absorb some really good days and come back and be on it the next day. And you have to absorb some tough ones. And I think the summer ball piece gives them another dimension of toughness and learning and showing up each day to perform. And you can see that dimension, that look in their eye. Like they walk out there to bring it, the A game. And you have to do it if you're going to play at this level and beyond. And they're setting themselves up to be good at both.
A result like this, what kind of places put you guys in going into Greenville coming
Well, I don't really. The next game is the first pitch we throw on Friday night. I just want to be really good there. I don't look. You might ask me about the records and stuff. I couldn't tell you my team's records any of the last 10, 12. I have no idea. It's can you prepare and function and be on point for the first pitch of the game Friday? That's our next game. So, that's kind of the emphasis I have, and making sure they're doing their work and we're structuring things so that when we get to that, we're getting the delivery and the answers that we want with just one pitch at a time, good baseball. And that's clearly I'm looking further, but I'm excited to go to Greenville. It's an awesome venue. It's like Fenway Park. Their staff is very accommodating. I've been there multiple times. It's an awesome place. I'm excited about that. I just want Leiter to be on point when we start that thing and have a good first at-bat and then take it from there. It's really kind of how I approach these things. It's a cool place. So that, yes. Beyond it, figured out.
Last one.
What would you say are the biggest differences between this ball club and last year's ball club?
Well, you have a lot of freshmen that were involved in this as freshmen, and that's a lot to ask. So some of the kids we're talking about here went through things as a freshman on the field with a young team with no transfers whatsoever involved, no older guys. You had a lot to learn, and we knew that. There were 17 freshmen, I think. So when you start to go around, those kids have matured and grown up, and they're obviously better at what they're doing. You add some arms like in the recruitment process, recruiting and talent acquisition warfare. That's what college athletics is right now. You have to be on point with that. So you bring in some players that you liked. It's not easy to acquire these guys. There's some new guys that have done a nice job, that have been injected into a roster that was so young and went through growing pains, clearly, not equipped in some areas just because of the youthfulness of it. It's just a nice group of players. We have a long way to go. You have a sophomore at third, you have a sophomore freshman at short, you have a sophomore at second base. Your first baseman's an older player. Our catcher today was young. Our center fielder was young. Our left fielder was a sophomore. And you have Tibbs and Wright. That's way younger than the group they ran out there. So it's still young, but you've just tried to, through the recruiting process and the transfer capabilities, add what you felt like you needed to move things along. And I feel like it's obviously when you play that way, as clean as we did, it's a good feeling.